Hey guys, it's the iDog, Mr. Darren Varner. Do I look like I have a favorite football team? I don't know where you might get that from. The next update, you have to forgive me. I'm a little under the weather, so this is going to be quick. I know I don't sound good. Um, went offshore deep sea fishing and got an ear infection and went downhill from there. Had a great time. Had a blast. Um, But just real quick, this week's update. I mentioned to you last week that I was close to passing phase one. Uh, on the smaller accounts, I did pass phase one. Um, but just to give you an overview of, of the overall account status, these statistics are on the larger ones is 8.09% on one of the large ones and 7.7% on the other large one. And then I mentioned on the 100K accounts, which is the smaller ones, um, that passed on Friday, phase one. It passed phase one, and today was the first trading day for the phase two, and so I'm at about 1%, right under 1%, like you know 0.8 or something like that on the two accounts, the smaller ones. So not quite 1%. Phase two. So I passed phase one again. Phase one is passed on the two smaller accounts because I started those first. And then the larger ones, 8.9% and 7.7. And so that needs to get to 10% before they are past phase one. Again, you need to make 10% on phase one to pass, and then 5% on phase two. So it should not take long for you know me to make the 5% on once I get to phase two on the larger accounts. But I am on phase two on the smaller ones. Anyway, I feel like a broken record. Um, that's the update on the statistics. One thing that I would like to see with Tradeorithms, there's been some concern about AI generated testimonials. You know, I'm hearing it from different places. People think that the testimonials that Tradeorithms puts out are AI generated. They're not authentic. I don't know. There may be some AI involved. It doesn't mean that they're fake interviews. But what I would like to see is, everyone has some sort of social media presence. I would like to see some private, channels, someone using their private channels to post some of their testimonials. Um, if you don't have a YouTube channel, a lot of people do not have a YouTube channel and they don't want to start one. But most people have something else. Yeah, everybody's got Facebook, or Instagram is the end thing now. You know, Post something on social media. Um, Make it authentic, an authentic interview or an authentic testimonial, I should say, of yourself, uh, And Tradeorithms can key in on that. If they choose to do interviews, they're posting these interviews on their own Tradeorithms site. And I would like to see them maybe post a link to the person's personal IG account or personal Facebook account, whatever social media they're on. Just just have a link to, we can see that, okay, that's a real person there with a real history of social media. And yeah, and they're talking about their experience or their payout with Trader Rhythms on their own private account. I'd like to see that, because right now you have maybe two people that I see on YouTube they have private channels that have posted their their payouts. Um, Simon he's listing off like four or five. I can only find two people um, that have a private channel that's not associated with Trader Rhythms, the Trader Rhythms channel. And I'd like to see more of that kind of thing, where people are doing their own thing, tracking. Okay, I got paid. Here it is. Separate and apart from Trader Rhythms. So that's just the thought. Hopefully, they'll get that message. And make no mistake about it, we're still in the honeymoon stage here, where they're ma- they're making money on my accounts in the test phase. Excuse me, and they're you know communicating, answering questions. Everything's good. The sun is out, and everybody's doing their job. And that's not going to suck me in, because I've gone down this road before. Out with AlgoX, they did the same thing, man. They wanted to communicate. Hey, let's book a call. Let's chat. Let me answer your questions. Oh man, they were all over it, just making you feel all warm and fuzzy, and never got a payout. Disappeared. 10K later, disappeared. I mean, they just erased everything. All Telegram accounts are, and that's the other thing. The Telegram, only way to communicate with them, that's a red flag for me. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, on the other hand, if you're Trader Rhythms and you feel like you're doing everything you can, maybe you are, and I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. Okay, I'm Trader Rhythms. What can I do to convince people that this is the real deal? You just think about that. If you're Trader Rhythms and you got a bad rap because somebody else messed up the market, you know, and ripped people off. Now, what do I have to do to fix the rep? And I'm trying to put myself in their place and say, okay, what can they do? I mean, they can't make people create a YouTube channel for themselves and document their payouts. They can't do that. So all they can do is a lot of what I see them doing, and they're doing a lot. I'll give them that. They're doing what, like I said, what I would do if I were them, trying to make things right. So, that's where we are. I will keep you updated. I'm not, you know, I'm not down on it, not yet. I'm trying to keep a level head, be balanced about it, and not, get too one-sided, too optimistic or pessimistic. Just right down the line there until I see a payout. Now, if I see a payout, you're gonna know it. Okay, so and then we're gonna scream from the rooftops, and we'll get people involved here. All right, guys. I said it was gonna be brief, so be good.